What happens when you really care about someone or love someone, but something inside your heart, your intuition, is telling you that things are not right, that this relationship may have some blatant flaws that may prohibit it from going all the way. And because you care about this person and you have some extreme highs with this human being, but you also have some very sharp lows, you're confused as to what to do about it because it's not as clear as when someone is rageful or addicted to drugs or alcohol or maybe high level narcissist. But maybe this is a great human being, but there's something that might make this relationship incompatible and you can't figure it out. So in today's video, what I want to do is give you specific signs, silent signs that you can see the pattern of, so you can make a much quicker and stronger determination if this is the person you should give more time and energy to, or if you should end things with him, cut your losses, and move on. I'm dedicating this video to the most courageous part inside of you, to the bold nature of your being that despite this relationship or not, will end up thriving, to the version of you that needs to hear that you deserve love and kindness and compassion and someone who deeply cares about you, someone who wants to listen to you, someone who respects you. So as I share the silent signs that you may not be aware of, that you'll be able to put into a more specific context. This isn't a test you'll take on Cosmo magazine that will let you know a specific score, and based on that you should do A or B. I'm going to let the power of your own heart make the decision. Sometimes it's something you can't decide right away. Be compassionate with yourself, and sometimes it's time to take bold action, and only you can decide what the right timing is. Your friends, your family, they can all chime in, but only you are the person inside of the situation that needs to make that determination. But I am hopeful that this video is going to give you a clear path to making the best decision for the part of you that will, a year from now, 2 years from now, look back and thank you for the courageous, heroic nature of your being. The first silent sign that this isn't the right relationship for you is that you can't get a clear read of the vision this person has long term. It's not just that you're not sure if his vision is compatible with yours, is that he's unwilling or unable to share what that vision might be. Now, vision doesn't have to be a perfect, here's exactly the year when I'm going to do this, but just at least some vision of here's what would work for me. Here's something that I'm excited about. Here's something that would mean something to me if we were to accomplish this type of relationship. Because when you're with someone and the name of the game is what's happening daily, it's really hard for you to understand if you're heading towards a destination that you'll be happy with, or if you're honestly having a good time, but really wasting your time. Number two is, and this is confusing at times because when you spend time with someone that you really care about, when there's a lot of chemistry, when there's a lot of intensity, when there's a lot of emotional transference, it's hard sometimes to recognize that you don't have as many shared values as you need to have in order to have a relationship that has a cohesion and has some glue to stick together. And how do you know if you have enough shared values? Well, it's in what are the things that are most important to you and what are the things that are most important to him in action, not just in words. What are the things that you feel are most important to thrive in life? What are the things that you cannot do without? What are the things from friendships to religion, if you have one, or spirituality, to health, that seem to be in sync with the person that you're with? Now, that's not to say that you can't have lots of things in common and still the relationship not work out, but it's going to be harder if you have very few of these things that are in common. And the thing that, if you really become honest with yourself, the thing that's gelling this relationship together, that's making it hold together, is the feeling of intensity that you have with each other. Because that feeling of intensity could be a trauma bond, could be something other than deep, fulfilling, compassionate love. So be very careful as you evaluate the decision, should I be with this person or not? How many of the things that you value most does this person value as well? Or does it feel like it's a big effort to meet halfway because the things that you want, the things that you love, the things that are important to you are something that feels like he's doing you a favor in order to step into them? Third, when it comes to arguing, discrepancies, not seeing eye to eye, from his perspective, the majority of issues are not because of both of you, they're because of you. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen sometimes in couples. I'm saying that if 90% of the issues in his mind are you, then that tells you that something's off. That tells you that from his perspective, you are the one who is lagging behind. He's almost having to compensate for your lack. And when you internally know, because you're a smart human being, despite the fear and insecurity, that it's not that way, that regardless of what this man is telling you, that it's not 90% of the challenges are you, that he has a big role in this, but his lack of self-awareness makes him entitled to think that his vision is the one that prevails, then that's giving you a clear sign that this has a very strong chance of imploding at some point, because the only way for things to continue right now are for you to acquiesce and agree that, yeah, 90% of the issues are yours. And again, the ratio doesn't have to be 90-10. It could be something still off balance. I want to make sure that you listen to the wisdom of your own heart, listen to the wisdom of your intuition, and ideally get some perspective from human beings you love and know you and respect you, or even professionals, to understand that there might be more than meets the eye in his vision of the problems are you have too many needs. Number 4, and this is something that is really hard to give a voice to, but here it goes. That's when overall, as a result of your relationship with this man, you feel less about yourself. You're less shiny, you are less magnetic, you are less confident, you feel a lower sense of worth, you feel less about who you are and your possibilities in the world, but somehow feel unable to move forward. Because at that point, when you feel like you are a lesser version of yourself, but still, despite that, choose to be with this person, there's something to be said about the level of compassion and self-worth that needs to be rebuilt inside yourself for you to be able to see things as they are. And despite the intensity, the attraction, the slight addiction to this human being, be able to make the determination, if overall the equation with this human being is a negative one, he's adding 8, but subtracting 9, that's still -1. Now, sometimes it's not a -1, it's a -5 or a -10. So be really in tune with how you're feeling at different moments in time, so you recognize, maybe carry a journal and write things down. So it's not just your memory that tries to put a nice Instagram filter around what happened, but if you write things down as they're happening, you'll be far more likely to go back and keep a track maybe a week later, a month later. Here's the different experiences I've had, and here's how I feel about myself. And if it's less than you could be experiencing, if you're feeling good about yourself, not because of him, but despite him, that's a clear sign this is probably, unless something massively shifts, never going to work. Now, before I continue, if you are a single woman watching this, I'm going to go on a limb and bet that you're not aware of the root cause why you're still single. What I've done is, after helping clients from around the world for 14 years who've never had the type of relationship they wanted to finally have it, I've put together all the learnings into a quiz that you can take in about 60 seconds that will reveal to you the number 1 reason you're still single. If you'd like to participate, all you have to do is go to the first link in the description. You're going to see a page that looks like this. Answer a few simple questions, and within 60 seconds, you'll get 2 things: the answer to the elusive question why you're still single, and a custom report based on your specific blind spot that will share the number 1 action you can take today, very practical, to attract the guy you want in a fraction of the time. Number 5, you catch yourself, especially if you're aware of it, again and again, making up excuses for him, for his lack of connection, for his weird ways, for his sometimes disrespect. When you catch yourself kind of being the buffer between him and the world, maybe your family, maybe your friends, maybe people at work, as to why this person has a personality that no one but you seem to really get. And again, it's just challenging because if he's the type of charming guy that is charming with others but not nice to you, well, that's a different story. But there is the case to be made for someone who is just a difficult human being who has severe challenges in interpersonal relationships, and he's expressing those to you. But when it comes to other human beings, everybody can see it. But you're kind of sharing, well, he's too busy right now, or something of the sort that's giving him a hall pass for his way of being that doesn't really connect with other people, but also doesn't really connect with you many times. Sixth sign, and this is a huge one, because if this is not present, then the relationship really has a very little room of possibilities for growth and for success. And that's he's unwilling to work on himself when you are. Like, here you are watching videos, reading books, maybe going to therapy, maybe even going through coaching. And this man is saying, nah, I can do it all on my own. Like, all the power to those human beings who are so individualistic that they want to carry the world on their shoulders. But it's a delusional stance in life, especially when there's things that need to change. That outside perspective is practically the only way he'll recognize, because if his self-awareness is not high enough and no one points it out, and when you point it out is basically not true, then he needs some level of work or outside perspective to be able to create the shifts that would make this relationship possible, that would be able to repair the interactions between both of you when things get challenging. If you're the kind of human being who's connected to growth, who's investing in yourself, and he doesn't believe in that, and things are not working several times, and it's the same things over and over again, then I get that you care about this person, but I'm telling you right now, save yourself from the trouble and pain of trying to convert someone to your religion, metaphorically speaking. If he doesn't want to get help, you are not the coach or the therapist. You need to connect with someone who believes in it, because it's hard enough to make a relationship work when you're both working on yourselves and the relationship. When you're not doing that, there's a strong imbalance that will make this crash into a metaphorical wall that you don't want to experience. The last one that I'll share for today, there's more, but this is the last one I'll share today, is when you share what you need, but he doesn't want to do something about it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're right and he's wrong, but when there's specific needs that you have and he's unwilling to listen, unwilling to try 1% more to do things differently, unwilling to say, I'm going to give it an effort. He's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. And those are things that are really important to you. And the thing that's keeping you together is that fear of being alone, is that fear of failing in a relationship, is the fear of, what will my friends say? We'll have to start again from scratch. And let me tell you, those are real fears. I'm not here to say, well, just dust them off. No, these are real things in life. There comes a point when those fears don't even pale in comparison to the life that you will have if you don't create a shift. So take this all in. I'm not asking you to make a rash decision. I'm not asking you to say, well, I'm done after this video. You could be. But what I'm saying is, take some time to, if you want to watch this video again, jot some notes, make sure that you have some idea, and then be able to gauge these 7 different points I'm sharing with you and see how you feel a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, and then you might be able to see a pattern in ways that didn't exist before. Hope this is helpful, useful, insightful. If it is, it means the world to me and my channel, because this is the only way I can grow and reach more women and help them, is if you click like and subscribe. If you find this helpful, please share it with a friend who needs to hear this. And if you want to continue learning how you can attract the relationship you want without the need for gimmicks, manipulation, games, or stupid techniques, make sure to watch the next video right here.